and welcome to my first ever course where we will learn basics of Python by doing. And welcome to my channel. I am very excited for today's video. We're gonna be creating a simple calculator using Python today. In the previous video, we created a simple USD to INR converter, and today we're gonna be creating a simple calculator. Let's get started, guys. I'm the crazy coder, and you're watching into the fascinating Python part 2. So I'm gonna be using Spider IDE. You can use any other one, but I would actually recommend it. If you haven't seen the first part, then please do. It would be really helpful for you. Let's get started. So over here I have readied the preview. So it's like you'll enter first integer, then the second one, and then you'll tell what do you want to do. Supposing I want to add, and then it's giving me the answer as 24. If I want to subtract, the same, that's 12, and B to subtract is giving the answer as 0, which is correct. Over here let's write 12, and we want to multiply 12 by 12. The answer would be 144. So let's multiply them, and we got 144. Okay, so now let's enter our first more integers, and over here let's divide them. The answer should be 1. So let's press D to divide, and the answer is 1.0. The reason 0.0 is coming at the end is because when we'll use uneven numbers for division, then the answer would come in decimal. So supposing we're using 190 to divide, so then the answer is coming this big, as you can see. Okay, 1.1111111111112. So it's very big decimal, and that's why 1.0 is coming. Let's try and use the modulo remainder to get the remainder, and the remainder is going to be 0. We know that. So let's write E to write 0. Over here I'm going to be using smaller numbers because I'm going to be telling you what exponential operator is a little later. Exponentiation operator. So if we rerun it, we're going to be using smaller numbers. Let's rerun the module. First of all, let's end the whole module and then rerun it. Over here I'm going to be writing 2 and then 2. So it's basically 2 into 2 when we use the exponentiation operator. So we got 4. I'm going to be telling you about the exponentiation operator when we get to it, when we are writing the code and we get to it, guys. If you actually want to learn about exponentiation operator, then guys you can skip to that part. The timestamp is in the description, and there is a section for the exponentiation operator. So let's get started. I'm gonna be creating a new file. You just go to file, a new file, and then you can create the new file, and then let's save it. So I'm gonna be saving it as 2d50c 2d50c. Okay, .py. Over here let's write the hello world program. Hello world. So this is the easiest code that you can write using Python that would result in something. So like over here it's resulting in writing hello world inside the IPython shell. As you can see, it printed out hello world. So guys, simple. Let's start writing our code. So we're gonna be first of all welcoming our user. So let's write hello user, welcome to 2-digit 5 operator calculator. Hello user. This is the actually full form of my the whole code, the whole module that we're creating. 2D50C, that means 2-digit 5 operator calculator. So let's welcome them, and we're gonna be again writing, first of all let's name what it is. It's the welcoming. So let's write welcoming. So welcoming. Yep. Let's over here write remember to turn the caps lock on. Okay. Simple like that. Remember to turn the caps lock on. Then let's start by writing the intent. The intent. So the name is gonna be the intent. Intent. Over here we're gonna be entering our integers. So like over here num1 is equals to an int. That's a class that would tell that whatever we're writing inside it would be a number, not a string or anything else. And we're gonna be writing input, enter your first integer. And let's write that. Okay, now one thing that would strike into your mind would be, wait a second, let's write this whole again. Input, enter your second integer. Okay, so one thing that would strike in your mind would be that over here we made it write integer, which is int, but when we write something inside the string, then it's not a number. So how there is not a invalid syntax? How it is not an invalid syntax? It's because, guys, when we're putting this input inside the int class, then we are telling the computer that whatever we write inside the input, whatever the user would write inside the input would be an integer, not what over here the string would not be an integer. Okay, but whatever the user would write would be an integer. Simple. I think you understand it, the intent. So now let's write hashtag. This is like a comment. It tells the computer to basically ignore whatever we're writing inside it. So if we write print whatevs, then it would actually not print it. Okay, so basically nothing would happen. Over here it's gonna be the menu. Okay, let's write print, press A for addition, and again let's print, press A, oh sorry, B for subtraction, print, press C for multiplication, print, press D for division, then print, wait a second, then print, press E for the modulo remainder. Modulo is another name for the operator that we're gonna be using, and I'm gonna be telling you about that. Okay, so basically modulo just gets out the remainder. It's like if we want to find out, if we supposing write 12 modulo operator and 3, so basically it would just divide 12 by 3 and get the remainder at the end of the division, which would be 0. So basically nothing is in that, but exponentiation operator is more than that. So that's why I'm giving a separate section for it. So press E for modulo or remainder, and the next or the last would be press F for what? For exponentiation. Exponentiation. Okay, so now let's talk about exponentiation. So basically what happens in exponentiation, I'm gonna clear the console. We just want to write percentage and clear, and everything would be cleared. Over here I'm gonna supposing write 2 exponentiated by 3. What would it give? It would give 8. How did I calculate it? How 8 came out? It's simple. It's like 2. So basically, to understand it easily, you just want to write this number, the number of times, the number of times at the right number. So write the left number, the number of times the right number. So over here I'm writing it 3 times, and then put a multiplication sign in between them, and the answer is coming 8. So I think you understood it with this easy example of exponentiation. Let's get started with the variables, the vars. Okay, so over here we're gonna be using a couple of variables. This is because we are writing, supposing like print supposing your sum is equals to this. So the problem in Python is that you actually cannot print a string with a number. Okay, so you have to create that number, a string, and then you can write them together somehow. So that's why we're making these variables. So let's write num, or let's write ans sum. Ans sum is gonna be equal to num1, that yeah, the variable, plus num2 variable. Okay, and then the ans diff is gonna be num1 subtracted by num2, and ans pro, that means the product, is gonna be num1 multiplied by num2. Okay, the ans quotient is gonna be num1 divided by num2. The ans rem, the ans rem is gonna be equal to num1 modulo num2, and then over here we're gonna be writing ans exp num1 exponentiated by num2. Okay, so I think now, yeah, we have to make them strings. So str, and they have to be inside this str, so that they can be a string and we can compile them with other strings that we're going to be creating. Okay, or else it just wouldn't work. Okay, you can try that. If you'll not make these strings, then it would give a syntax error. It would throw up an error that you can't compile integers with strings. So that would be the end of it. Let's make them strings. Str is short form for strings, and we have them as strings. Okay, so now let's create ifs, aka ops. Okay, so we're gonna be creating if statements and we're gonna be making operators. So that's a funny way to say it. What is actually an if statement? If statement does something when a certain condition is met. Supposing if op equal a, then what would you do? Write semicolon and then write over here. So it only if op is equals to the same string, then it would work, or else it wouldn't work. Beforehand, guys, over here let's create op equal to an input. Okay, so now over here let's write if op equal a. Then what would you do? Then you would just print out the sum is equals to plus the ans. We want the sum. Okay, let's write if op equal b, print, sorry, wait a second, yep, okay, the difference is equals to plus ans diff. Okay, now let's write if op equal c, then you want to print out the product equal equal plus ans, not def, plus ans pro. Okay. Now, one thing that I wanted to tell you guys, I'm gonna be discussing it after the if statements, but I think that is important to discuss with you all. Okay. So, if op equal d, then print out the quotient is equals to what? Is equals to the variable that we created, ans quo. That means the answer of the quotient. So op equal, when op equal d, if that's the case, then you want to print out, oh wait, not d, e. Really sorry for that inconvenience. Print the remainder equal to, remainder is equals to plus ans, wait a second, ans is the rem. Then if op equal f, print the exponentiated value is equals to what? That value is equals to plus and exp. Okay, so now let's talk about what I was talking about. It's the EA wars. Okay, so over here the EA wars is equality and assignment wars. So basically guys, you would be getting confused that over here we're writing 2 is equals to signs, and over here we're writing 1 is equals to sign. Obviously if you have seen my JavaScript series, then you would have no doubt, but who haven't and are here for the first time, I'm going to discuss this with you all. Is basically is equal to, so this is equals to sign is actually equal to assignment. So we use it to assign a value to a variable like we did above, as you can see in this, and sum equal to str num1 plus num2. Over here is equals to, we use just 1, that's clear, it's used for assignment. And 2 is equals to are equal to r for equality, to check equality. So like over here we used op 2 is equals to c. So if we don't use 2 is equals to, then the computer would think, what, the person writing the code is assigning a value to the operator op variable inside an if statements, and that's not possible. So it would just throw up a syntax error. So guys, this is the whole code we wrote. Let's save the whole code, run it, and see what's everything like. So let's enter our first integer, second integer, name op isn't defined. Oh, now this is the problem over here. Op equal input, it's not, we just have to put 1 is equals to. Let's save it and run it again. 12 12. Okay, let's add them. The answer would be, the sum is equals to 24 working. 12 12, when we'll subtract it, then the difference is equals to 0. Very good. Let's multiply them, the answer should be 144. 144. So let's write multiplication, division, we're multiplying, so the product is equal to 144. Let's write 12 to divide them by 12, divided by 12, the answer should be 1. So let's write d for division, and the quotient is equals to 1.2. And I think I have explained why 1.2 is coming instead of just 1. Okay, let's write over here 12 again. Oh wait a second, 12 again, and when we'll add the remainder, then the answer should be 0, because I think I made myself pretty clear about why it should be 0. And I think you are, because obviously you know that the remainder would be 0 in the division of 12 and 12. Let's use the module. It's gonna be very big. No, it's not gonna be big. It's gonna be, oh my god, we have to make it small. It's like 12 into 12 into 12 into 12, and this is repeating 12 times, so it's big. Okay, let's make it small. Let's make it 10 and 5. So it's 10 into 10 into 10, so it should be 500. Okay, 10,000. Then also it's very big. It's like 10 into 10 into 10 into 10 into 10. So it's big. Let's use a little smaller one. It's gonna be very, very difficult to do it inside a calculator too. So let's write 12 and 3. So 12 into 12, okay, 2. So it's like 12 into 12, which is 144. So let's write F, and the exponentiated value is 144. Thank God. Did you remember when we wrote 12 and 12? It was so big. So big. Oh God. I was like surprised big this much. It would be in a billion or in a trillion when we talk about place value. So guys, congratulations. You have a simple calculator by just some lines of code. Okay, if we take this out, this out, this out, this out, and this out, so 1 2 3 4 5, and basically we have 34, and 34 minus 5 is equals to 29. So you have a simple calculator in just 29 lines of code, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye and sayonara. I'm actually looking forward to get some replies on your recommended integrated development environment for Python. I'll see you guys in the next promised part of this series, the text adventure game. Until then, bye bye. So guys, I hope you're all doing fine on the project I assigned you, the text adventure game, and hope you are doing well in your everyday life. Let's get started with this video. I'm really excited. I hope you are too, and that's why you're watching this video. Let's get started. So today we're going to be creating a simple MCQ quiz. If you have seen my announcement, which I said that it was an important one and you have to please, I request you to acknowledge it. If you have watched that, then you would know that 2 more videos are coming up. The USD to INR converters 2.0 update, and then the this one which we are creating right now, MCQ quiz. Let's get the preview right now. So guys, let's run this simply, and something like that is popping up. Connecting to kernel. Oh yeah. See, over here it came. Let us give you the first question. What color is strawberry? So first of all, I'm gonna get all the questions wrong, guys. Don't think that this color is strawberry, what color is watermelon, and what color are blueberries, and blah blah is gonna come. It's a very difficult, not that difficult, but it's a difficult biological quiz which we are gonna be creating with these questions. Which of the following acid present? But before that, let's get the preview up and running. So over here, let's get all of them wrong. So it's saying, uh-oh, bad, you got 0, because 0 by 3 is 0. So that's why, because any number divided by when 0 is the dividend, then everything is gonna be 0 only. Over here, let's get 1 correct. Okay, let's get only 1 correct. It's saying nice try, keep getting better, you got 1 out of 3. Over here, let's get 2 correct. So A, C, and A. So it's saying well done, you got 2 by 3. And over here it's saying A, C, B. Let's get all right. And then over here it's saying perfect, you got 3 by 3. So guys, I think you're all clear with the preview. Let's see what are gonna be the questions. So we have the questions. Bio questions. Which of the following acid is present in vinegar? Citric acid, oxalic acid, malic acid, or acetic acid? I think the answer is this because it's in bold, so it's correct. The rarest blood group is AB negative. The longest and largest bone in the human body is femur. So these are gonna be the questions. Only 3. You can expand them, but to make this tutorial quick and crisp, I'm gonna be making them only this much. So guys, let's get back to the Spider IDE. You have, by the way, you need to be with Python and Spider. If you haven't seen all the rest of the parts, please do. And if you're watching the part 5, the next part, then you have to watch the part 1. I'm gonna be telling that in detail in the part 5 itself. So guys, you would need Python and Spider. Okay, so I'm not gonna be telling you very much about it, but yep, let's get started. So over here we have the Spider IDE. Let's create a new file by closing all the tabs or going to file and clicking on new file. Let's save it. We're gonna be naming it something like 3 bio Q3, 3BQ3. That means 3 bio questions, and you have to get 3 out of 3. So it's not that good, but I got this name the best. 3BQ3. Okay, so let's start by writing simple the welcoming. So you know this, we always welcome our user first. If you have seen all my series, then okay, let's write over here welcome to the. Over here guys, we're gonna be going in this. So the easiest one, then more difficult, then the most difficult, which is which of the following acid is present in vinegar. Okay guys, so let's get started. Welcome to I wrote 5 instead of 3. Let's write 3BQ3 and welcoming over. And by the way, I'm gonna go through the whole code again at the end of the video tutorial, so you need not worry about that. Let's write the Q's. Okay, so we're gonna be writing the Q's. So first of all, here some kids game. Wait a second, here's some kids game. Send this over here. Here's some kids game. Okay, let's write over here. You know what? We need this like this over here, but we are not able to. So we can do a very simple thing. See, now we can write it inside the string. So we can use a double quote instead of a single quote, and then we can write here, here, a kids game, because it's not affecting. We have a double quote now, so that wouldn't affect now. But when we had single quotes, then the computer was thinking, the IDE was thinking that over here we have ended the string. So you can use the double quote and a single quote. By the way, the single quote is better looking, but sometimes you have to force. You get forced to just use the double quote instead of a single one. Over here, guys, simply let's write print the first question. You can search more questions, but I like that these. The link is in. So the questions are in the description, just in case you need to copy paste. The longest and the largest bone in the human body is what? Okay, simple. Let's write the options. So let's print out. There are how many options? 4 options in each one of them. So okay, so print. Okay, as you can see, when we run it, it's coming welcome to the 3BQ whatever. Welcome to the 3BQ3. Here, a kids game. The longest and the largest bone in the human body is. Oh, here guys, let's add two plain prints over here inside the welcoming, two plain prints, so that we have a real gap between the question and the welcome. Okay, let's save and run it and see how it's looking. Connecting to kernel, it's connecting, and then it would automatically show everything. Okay, so it's getting separated by two blank prints, so that there is a little kind of two enters. And then here, a kid's game, the longest and the largest bone in the human body is. Before this, we can put a simple print like this, because the description, and there should be a matter in the there should be a a difference in the description and the question. So over here it's looking like it's the same, but when we press when we put an enter, it looks better and better. So let's get the first option, part A, spinal cord. And obviously we need it in no caps lock, so I'm gonna be warning the user also for no caps lock. A, spinal cord. Okay, over here let's write B, humerus. Humerus is on the arms. I am in grade 5 and this was a recently covered topic in my grade. I remember it very well. Okay, so let's write, yep, B, humerus. Okay, over here let's write the C part. Over here let's write in a bracket, C is fibula, but the correct answer is femur. So let's write, and don't think that this is getting a science class. It's still a coding tutorial, because it's feeling like it's a science class. Okay, so everything is working just fine. Over here, D, femur is the correct answer. So before the cues, we're gonna be creating one more section, but let's get over with the questions first, and then we're gonna be starting with the other ones, the variables. Okay, so now over here we can name it question 1. Let's take out question 2. Okay, it's gonna be the question 2. I'm just gonna copy paste this. Here's a free tip, that always copy paste which you want to keep a little same, and then make the changes, so that it's easier to write, and not like write the whole thing that we're doing over here. Okay, the next one is the rarest blood group. Okay, so I'm gonna put a question mark over here, and let's select everything, press Ctrl C and paste it over here. Okay, I'm gonna work on the description 1 second later. Okay, the rarest blood group is O negative. We have O negative at the first part, at the first option. We have B negative at the B part. Wait a second. Yep. Now we have the AB positive at the C option. In the C option. Wait a second. I did not copy it correctly. Okay. At the C part we have A, B plus, and the correct answer we have at the D again, E, B, A, B, negative. So I think we're all getting a scientific lecture with coding over here. You know now what's the rarest blood group, and you know what's the longest and largest bone in the human body. Over here let's write, let us start, let us start playing an adult's game over here, and let's start over here by writing hashtag Q3 Let's Q3 over here. Let's copy paste this again. And let's write, let now to the game of senior citizens, because it's getting more difficult. Let's write the next question. Which of the following acid is present in vinegar? So let's write this and let's get the options. Citric acid. So let's write citric acid over here. Second, let's select this and press Control V to write citric acid. Now the correct answer, which is acetic acid. That's Control C and Control V. Now oxalic acid and malic acid. You know what? I just know a lot about citric acid because whenever I eat a lot of chips, my mom says there is a lot of citric acid present. So if you'll eat them in a lot of quantity, in a big quantity, then you will damage yourself. So I just know a lot about citric acid. So over here, the correct answer is B, acetic acid. So over here, we're gonna be creating some variables. Answer question 2. This is gonna be the first one. It's gonna be an input, okay, and that's gonna be a string, so don't worry about putting it in a class. Over here, answer question 1 is gonna be equal to again an input, which is officially a string and we want it to be a string. Over here, answer question 3 should be actually equal to an input again, and we need not change its class because officially it's string and we need a string. Let's get started with where's. So here let's name it. Let's name some variables. Correct answer 1, K1 is gonna be equal to D. Okay, so the correct answer for the first question is D femur. Let's write D. K2 is gonna be equal to D again, because the rarest blood group is AB minus, AB positive, negative, and K3, that's gonna be equal to B, because acetic acid is the correct answer that's present in the vinegar. So guys, now inputs are there, we need some ifs. So let's start by writing some ifs. So let's write ifs, baby. Okay, let's write if. First of all, let's code the question 1. AQ1 equal to, if AQ1 equal to is equivalent to K1. Okay guys, if you have seen my Python series in detail more, like the part 1, 2 and 3, then you would know this. But then for people who don't, I'm gonna be telling about the EA wars. You can just skip this part. You can just go to the next timestamp because all the timestamps are in the description. I'm gonna be telling about those who are new to my channel, please subscribe to. Over here, let's write if AQ1 equal to K1, which is the correct answer, then we should make the score. So we have to create one more variable, score, which is gonna be equal to 0, and then score is gonna be equal to itself plus 1. Okay, let's write if. I'm gonna make a lot of enters so that it's easier to see, because then we have to see this on the edge of the screen. If AQ2 equal to the K2, then score is gonna be equal to score plus 1, and we need not code else after the if, because if it's not equal, then it would remain 0 and it would not add +1, so there is no sense of doing so. And I'm gonna be telling you what else if else statement is after completing this. So raising my else announcement just would have created some doubts in some people. So over here let's write score is equal to score plus 1. So plus 1 itself. Okay, so now let's talk about the EA bars. So guys, basically it's very simple. 1 is equals to, so let's tell you, let me tell you why am I going to take up EA words. It's like, because if some are getting confused that why did we put 2 is equals to over here and 1 is equals to over here, this is for them. Let's write over here, this 1 is equals to is used for assignment. Okay, I did not make them a comment. And 2 is equals to are used for equality. So equality, we are using 2 because we need to check the equality between AQ1 and CA1, and over here we are assigning a value to this variable, and that's why we are using 1 is equals to. So I think it's all clear. Let's get to else, and if you know what else statement is, then please skip this also. There are timestamps, you can just head on to the next timestamp. Over here let's talk about else's. So basically else's is like, if x is equals to x, then do blah. But if it's not equals to, then if it's equal to anything but x, then else blah. So if statements do something when a certain condition is met, in this case the certain condition is x when x and x is equality is the same. So when basically x variable is equals to x variable, and then you have to do blah. And if it's not true, then if it's something else, if x is not equal to, if supposing x is equals to 1, and over here let's change it to y, and y is equals to 1.1, then it would perform the else action. But if it's not true, if it's 1 and 1, x and y are both 1, then it would perform the if action. I hope you're all clear with the else statements too. Let's get started with the last ND. Okay, let's start by the ND. Okay, so now over here we're gonna be printing out if score equals 0, then what should we write? We should write print oh please retry, cause we now for me, because I have to use double quotes, I'm using a single quote, so I have to use a double quote right now. Cause you got 0 out of 3 is equals to 0 out of 3. You can write 0 also, but I'm just realizing her that out of 3 you got 0. Realizing him or her. So let's say the user. If score is equals to 1, oh, I wrote minus instead of the is equals to sign, is equals to 1, then you write print. You can change the messages, by the way. Keep trying. You can do it once. You got 1 out of 3. Okay, and let's write if score equal to 2, I think it wasn't a typo. Typo is like a typing error. Again, we have to use double quotes. My bad. I think it wasn't a typo. I think it is a typo. It was a typo. If it is not, good luck trying again. You got 2 out of 3. Simple. Okay, let's write over here if score is equals to 3. Then what should we do? Then we should print brilliantly perfect. You got 3 by 3. 3 out of 3. Okay, so let's save it and run this. Welcome to the 3BQ3. Here a kid's game. The longest and largest bone in the human body is, let's get all correct right now, all wrong right now. Let us start playing an adult's game. Over here we wrote one thing wrong. And over here, guys, we should add enter between these inputs also. So after every input we're gonna be printing out nothing so that it looks better and it looks more cleaner. Okay, let's rerun it. Okay, let's end this program once. Okay, here a kid's game. The longest and largest bone in the human body is, let us start playing an adult's game. The rarest blood group is, please retry because you got 0 out of 3. Before that, let's warn our players also this. Print out, don't forget to turn caps lock off. Again double quotes. I hate this. Okay, let's save it and rerun it. Now we're gonna be getting one correct, so don't forget to turn the caps lock off. Here a kid's game. Let's write the longest and the largest bone in the human body is what? Let's get this correct and the rest of them wrong. Keep trying, you can do it once. You got 1 by 3. Okay, let's get 2 correct. So DD and A. I think it was a typo. If it was not, I wrote was not. If it was not, grammar error. Let's retry it. Okay, I think it was a typo. If it was not, good luck trying again. You got 2 out of 3. Let's get some exclamatory marks. Let's get all correct now. So DDB, brilliantly perfect. You got 3 out of 3. So guys, this is gonna be the end. Basically, you just learned how to create a simple quiz game in we can just get these out to talk about how many lines did you use. Did actually we use? Okay, let's take this ifs out and the EA was an ND out. So guys, basically you created a simple MCQ game in just 49 lines of code. Congratulations, this was the biggest Python code in my video. In this Python series, by the way, the biggest code which we wrote. And it was a lot fun. Guys, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye. And I'm really looking forward to the text adventure replies. And I'm looking more forward even for the recommended IDE. I'm gonna check my email more and more and more that I get replies with you from you. And guys, don't forget to provide your name too, because I actually don't know your name. See you. Bye. Until then. Hello guys and welcome to the Crazy Coder. I'm Nil. First find the logic, then code. Let's get started with this video. We're gonna be creating a simple MATLAB generator. This time the core concept of this is that we will take input from a user. There would be 4 sentences and we're gonna be replacing the inputs in a user's input from the with the whatever we have written inside the sentence. I'm gonna show that to you. I can't explain it orally without showing the whole code. So first of all, if you haven't seen the installation of Jupyter, please do. Link is in the description for Windows, and I don't know about Mac and Linux. So if you don't know how to do that, please do. Basically, it's like if you have pip, then you have to write pip install Jupyter Lab, and it would automatically install Jupyter Lab. And I think inside the Mac terminal the same would happen, but I actually and simply don't know about Linux. So let's get started. I'm gonna open command prompt. You can use PowerShell or terminal or anything if you have downloaded Jupyter Lab, and let's type the run command Jupyter Lab. Let's close the browser pop-up and open up the Jupyter Lab shortcut which we have created. Now this is the wait a sec, yep, this is the preview for you all guys. So let's try and run it. Enter a subject. I'm entering a subject. Math is saying math contains grammar. Supposing I enter maths again, it's saying math contains pi. Again, if I enter maths, it's saying history is a part of maths. So it's basically randomly choosing sentences. So let's get started with this video guys. Well, I'm gonna go to the folder which I created inside the main folder that would pop up in Jupyter, which is TCC Python, the Crazy Coder Python. And over here this is the preview. I'm gonna be creating a new folder by clicking over here. The folder is gonna be mad libs, and then inside this folder I'm gonna be creating a new launcher notebook Python 3, and then I'm gonna be naming this. Let's click on rename mad libs generator dot ipynb. Okay, so this extension is basically for running code in the Jupyter IDE. That's over here. Simply write import random. You have to import random. Random is basically a simple module from where you can randomly choose something. So supposing I'm writing random dot, wait a second, supposing I'm printing random dot rand range, and the range is 20 and 50. So basically it would print out random numbers from between 20 and 50. As you can see, it's printing. So okay, so we're gonna be creating a list. List is self-explanatory. List is list. So let's create a list. List is equals to, we can write any value over here for now, because I'm gonna be touching the basics of lists right now. So now basically there are many functions that we can use in list. Supposing if I have to find what's the length of my list, then I can write print len and ly. So I'll get 5 because it's 1 2 3 4 5. If I want to know what's the maximum value inside, then it's 555. Obviously it's showing 555. And what's the minimum value? That's 3. So it's showing 3. And if I want to add something inside it, then first of all I'm going to be printing ly right over here. Okay, and then supposing I'm going to be writing ly dot append, and what I need to append I'm going to be writing inside. Supposing I want to append 1 2 3 4, and then when I print ly, let's see, over here is showing me 1 2 3 4 6 6 5 5, and then it's over here saying 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 6 6 5 5 1 2 3 4. So if you want to take something out, supposing over here I am writing del, and then before doing that we have to touch the basics of index. Index is basically the number of the item inside a list. So basically over here the number of this 1 2 3 4 is 1 2 3 4 5 6, but actually in Python it's not 6, it's 5. Let me tell you how. Because in Python lists start from 0. So 0 1 2 3 4 5. So basically a simple way to learn this is like whatever is the list's name, list index, you have to just subtract one from it and you'll have the Python index. That's correct. So where it's 6, it's actually 5. So if I write del list ly and then over here inside square brackets I write 5, it would automatically delete it, and when I then print ly, as you can see it's deleted and it's not showing with this. Okay guys, what if nothing? Now this is the basic of lists. I think you all know the basics of lists, so let's get started. This list is gonna have things like placeholders and strings. So I'm gonna be telling you briefly what a placeholder is. Don't worry about that. Okay, so supposing we have a variable that's not a list, so supposing that's %s, that's a placeholder for string, and inside %s I write width is the current prime minister of India. Okay, and then if I want to change something inside this %s, then I can simply write print out ly percent, inside brackets I'm gonna write whatever I have to change from this %. That's gonna be Narendra Modi, and then when I'll run it, it's showing Narendra Modi is the current Prime Minister of India. But before that, if I print this ly variable, it's showing %s is the current Prime Minister of India, and now it's showing Narendra Modi is the current Prime Minister of India. So this is what we'll be using for this tutorial. Okay guys, so now let's start by creating the list. Over here let's write the first item inside our list. Okay, so that first item inside our list is gonna be the placeholder for string that contains grammar. Okay, then the next item in our list, we're gonna be separating that by comma, obviously, is gonna be %s contains algebra. Okay, then we can write one more, geography is a part of %s, placeholder for strings, and then we can write biology is a part of spelling error, typo, %s. Biology is a part of %s, that's a placeholder. So simple. Now we can create a variable called subject. That subject is gonna be equal to input from the user side. For that, let's start by labeling whatever we're writing. It's gonna be the importation. This was the listo, and now we have the subjecto. Okay, subject is equals to an input, enter a subject. By the way, you can use any other IDE and you should have Python installed, but I would actually recommend Jupyter because it's very free, very safe, and it doesn't take up any space inside your computer because it's web based and you have to just install it using pip library. Okay, so we have written this much, guys. Now let's move on to the randomo. Now the variable madlibs is gonna be random dot choice, and that choice is gonna be from li. Okay, so basically what would this do? It would take out anything from over here, any item from the list. Okay, now let's move on something else. I can't find out the name right now, but let's see. Okay, so over here we're gonna be simply writing the endo So this is gonna be the end. Now simply we're gonna be printing out madlibs percent user's input, which is a variable subject, and this is gonna be the end. Yep. Now it's gonna be printing out everything using maths. It's showing biology is a part of maths, and maths now showing maths contains algebra, and if I write biology, it's showing geography is a part of biology, which is actually not correct, but yep, you have it. And I'm going to be creating a 2.0 version of this where we're going to be trying to create scores. Like supposing if it's making sense, then it's going to be showing us you win, and if it's not making sense, then it's going to be showing us you lose. So guys, tada, bye bye, and see you. There are going to be rounds and many things, but not sure because I'm going to have to write code for it, and whenever I'll do, I'll see you. Until then, bye bye.